Howdy friends, this is Paul with Built with Foam down here in Houston, Texas, and today we're showing off our new product, the wall flattening shim system, and how to install it today. All you need are the typical tools that you have already on the job site: tape measure, caulking gun with your favorite adhesive in it, a laser, and a straight edge. That's all you need. No more extension cords, nail guns, planers, anything else. That's all out the window. This is a lot faster and I think you'll really like it. So the first step is to set your laser so you can mark your walls at the height you're going to need to place your shims. And to do that, we've built this story pole for ourselves. And what we've done is when you add the laser is now in 1 foot increments up the wall because that's what our wallboard manufacturer requires us to do. So we pick a spot in the room where we can just screw this to a wall stud and it will shine a laser evenly throughout the shower area we're trying to level up. So here's a pro tip for you. We've actually marked this at 12 1/4 and not 12 inches. So that's to allow for any irregularities in the plywood substrate, to give you a little bit of gap below your wall boards so you don't have to have trouble running when you go around a large corner. We're going to just start marking our studs at 12-inch intervals. The process is pretty simple. We mark these, and as the laser climbs up our story pole, we mark them all the way up the wall. So the boards that we prefer to use are 3 feet wide. So therefore, we pay particular attention to the 3-foot mark. If your boards are 4 feet wide, then simply pay attention to the 4-foot mark. So that's our 3-foot mark. Then the next step, laser up. The story pole comes in really, really handy for this. Sure, you can tape measure it and use a level, but we found that nothing beats a laser and a story pole because you're going to be doing this over and over again on every shower. So now the shim placement is located on all the way around your shower. The next thing you want to do is find out just how crooked these walls are. We purposely bought the cheapest studs we could from Home Depot, and we left them in the truck for a while, so we're sure we're going to find some nice surprises. So what we've done is we've placed a line here on the floor about 4 inches off the sole plate. Pick that number, it's easy reference, and it serves a couple of purposes. We're going to line our laser up with it, and we have a 4-inch line here on the other side as well. So that makes it easy for one person to set up their laser line 4 inches off the sole plate. So now we just put our tape measure up against the wall, compare it to our laser, and see how far we are off. So here we're right at 4. Here we're under 4, so we know our wall tilts in. We're climbing in, so our wall tilts in some more. Our wall tilts in some more. This is where I'm going to break out the step stool because I'm under 5'6". 3 7/8. 3 3/4. 3 7/8. 4 inches. Wow, we really are back. This is 4 3/8, 4 almost 7/8, 4 5/8. Here's another pro tip, and the reason why we stick the laser out 4 inches from the sole plate is because of bulging insulation and plumbing fixtures that'll get in the way of your laser line. By having it a few inches away, it makes measuring a lot easier. So after a little bit of measuring, we found out that this corner leans in 1/8 and that corner leans back. So to make the math a lot easier, we're going to come down here on the floor. We're going to change our mark on the floor to 4 1/8. That is so that we can just make our whole wall to 4 inches. Every time we read our tape measure, we just add shims until the laser hits the 4-inch mark. The distance between the laser mark and the 4-inch mark is the shim we're going to grab and stick on the wall. Now you can do this a lot easier if you're one person. Just measure and then mark the size of shim you need on the wall, then come back and glue them on. If you have a helper, it's really handy for them. You just call out the size, they put glue on it, and you put it right into place. So we took our tape measure and measured out to our laser line and wrote down on each foot mark what size shim we're going to need. So if we've done our job correctly, somewhere on this wall behind me, it's marked at 0, which in this case is up in that corner because that's where the wall sticks in the most. In this case, if you look at the numbers behind me, this corner is 1 inch leaning backward. This wall is really crooked as an example to show you what to do. So that's where we're going to add all our shims. We're going to do that after we mark this wall. If you have a laser that shoots a 90 degrees, you can set that on the floor and plumb out this wall to an exact 90 of your other wall, and you can follow your way around the room. So now that all our walls are marked for what depth shims we need, now comes the easy and fun part, gluing on the shims. So in this case, the stud wasn't even nailed on well. So we put the thicker stud where we need it, shim, and the skinnier shim where we need it for a nice flat surface. So here we need 5/8. Our shims stop at a 1/2 inch, but you can build them up easily. Put on our 1/2 inch, add an 1/8. 9/16, same method. Start with a 1/2 inch, add a 1/16. You want to smear the glue in nice and firm so that it doesn't bulge out. Is a 1/2 plus an 1/8. Easy to dial in. So now you can see that we have all of our shims placed where we wanted them. It's easy to check as you go, just double check with your tape measure and laser, or you can always throw on a level and admire your work that way. You can see that these come out nice and plumb and flat in every direction. So now you can see it didn't take us very long to do our shims in this really, really crooked shower. Normally we don't have to stack so many, but that's one of the advantages of our shims. Since they're such lightweight, you can put them on top of each other and they don't go anywhere. You can use the adhesive for your wallboard manufacturer, or in this case we use PL, which we really like because it hardens up in just a few minutes and it sticks really nicely. So when you're maneuvering your wall panels, you're not going to go knocking your shims off. They stay where you put them. These are spaced at 12 inches. Different wallboard manufacturers have different requirements. Read and follow, of course, the manufacturer instructions for the wall waterproofing that you're going to use in your system. Here's another pro tip. If you're lucky enough to get on the job site before the drywall crew, you can place our shims outside the shower area so that when the drywall is hung, it goes here, your wallboard is here, making for a nice flush installation and no need to tape and float. One of the common hassles on dealing with framing is MEP plates and nail plates that stick out. And usually they're right where you want to put a shim or a nail. Well, that's one of the big advantages of us. You can just glue your shim right over that MEP and you continue with your flat surface. Having been a tile contractor for 40 years and doing a lot of showers and dealing with situations just like this, that's why we developed this method, so that we could get really crisp flat walls to within a 1/16 of an inch over the entire shower area. I'd like to know if you think this would be a benefit to you. If you have any suggestions about how we can improve the system, please comment below. If you have any friends who would like to know about it, please share this video. If you're interested in buying our shims, they're available at our website, builtwithfoam.com, where we also make custom foam shower trays and a bunch of other really nice things aimed right at tile contractors like yourselves. Thanks for watching. I really appreciate it. This is Paul Lucio down in Houston, Texas with builtwithfoam.com.